I was watching a speaker yesterday speaking in his event. He's a big speaker here in Brazil, not only famous, but good. And then suddenly a guy in the stage grabbed a microphone and asked him, stand up on the stage and grab the microphone. He was a little bit arrogant, asking the speaker that was on the stage. And then he grabbed the microphone and he asked the guy, how can I be a speaker like you? Not like you, better than you. He asked that to the guy, and then the guy was like, oh, bro, let me tell you something. You're going to need to practice how, and then he started to tell the guy only the things that he needed to do, like to say, you're going to need to read 1,000 books. You're going to need to be speaking on a stage for 10 hours. You're going to need to be speaking for 10 years. Then you're going to can get close to me. Plus, while you're doing all this, I also will not stop growing. I will keep growing. So it will be really hard for you to catch me. So why I'm saying that? Because it's never finished. That's the power of this mastermind. That's why I said also this is really important for me, because every time I do this, I'm also growing. And I think that should be the mindset of all of us that are here. We have a motto in our group: people that love peace should communicate as effectively as people that loves war. We need in the world leaders like we have here, many leaders. Like when Sebastian speak, he speak as a voice of, you want to be a leader, So we need to have leaders that really believe that the power of their voice can actually influence the world. I'm lucky enough and fortunate to be in different countries. And now I'm in Brazil. And I tell you, my friends, the biggest problem we have, it's because there is few people that has the courage to grab the microphone to actually speak up to make the world a better place. And that's what we do here. Speak to Inspire has this motto, plus techniques. Okay, my friend Popovic, techniques. As I heard you were going to have a speech tomorrow, speaking, it's also about knowing which techniques works to influence. Doesn't matter how much content a speaker have, if they don't know how to make the audience engage with them so they are able to hear. And today we're going to talk about something that's really powerful, that is a storytelling that we should all be applying and practicing. Okay, but before that, we're going to get to know each other. We're going to do a fast dynamics here. That's called the two truths and one lie.
I have a cat. His name is Benedict. He's a big one, and he behaves like a dog. I used to be in the early 2000s a frontman of a boy band in Eastern Europe, and also I climbed one of the biggest mountain peaks in Europe 10 years ago.
I think it's the mountain peak that is a lie, and the other ones are the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Magnus, let me tell you something, man. You said you're going to be doing a speech, online speech, right?
Yeah.
So this is also a great opportunity for you. You see that here in our mastermind, there is all the time some dynamics. As you said, you're going to bring dynamics. There is many things that we always bring here that you also can start to learn to use in your online.
Yeah.
I live here in Brazil in a forest, okay? And then one day I was working inside of the jungle. It's a jungle, not that raw jungle like Amazon, but it's a jungle. And we have like frogs, snakes, a lot of birds, different animals. And we have also a lot of bees, okay? And one day I was working here in the garden, inside of the jungle, and then I saw a lot of bees, and then the bees were there. I was like, okay, I didn't know if they were like poison, because we have poison bees and we have bees that are nice. Both of them produce honey, really great honey, but some of them really attack. But I don't know yet which one I can trust or not. So I went to the jungle cutting to clean a little bit, and I hit one bee house. The bees didn't attack me. And I said, okay, maybe they are not so bad. And then I kept working, but then I hit another bee house. So when I hit the bee house, Suddenly I look to the bees, and then the bees, start coming towards me. And then they were coming towards me and then bite me. I got 7 bites. And the first bite I got was in my forehead. They came straight and bite my forehead. So when they bite my forehead, they start getting really scary, afraid. My mind is like running really fast. What can I do? Because I was afraid of all of them come to catch me. And we know that can be really dangerous. The funny thing was, like, when I got a bite in my forehead, as soon as I got the bite, my brain worked really fast to give me solutions. And suddenly a thought appeared in my mind, and it was a thought that I heard from a woman in a documentary. She was telling the documentary that she being attacked to a lot of bees in a situation, and the natives told her, when you get bite for a lot of bees, the first thing you need to do is run to a lake. That came so fast in my mind. I got the punch in the forehead and I was like, fuck. The thought came, I have to run to the lake. And then I run to the lake. The bees were like coming in over me. And then I dive on the lake. And then they disappear. And then I thought, shit, a story saved me. It was a story. If I didn't remember what I heard from a woman in a documentary, I would not have that thought. I would got a lot of bites. So I got all the bites. I left, and then I start talking to the Brazilian guys that born here. They're like natives. And I was like, oh, bro, I got 7 bites in my body. And they're like, don't worry, when you get bited by the bees in Brazil, you're gonna become a more, potent man, because they I don't know. This is like that's what they say here. I said, okay, I believe you. Whatever. I was saved by a story, my friends. So why I'm saying that to you today here, we are talking about storytelling. Storytelling was a way that kept us survive in our journey as a story, right? There was a time before internet, and before internet, we had TV. That was the way people learn. Before the TV, it was the radio. Before the radio was the fire places where people were exchanging stories so they could keep alive. So storytelling, it's in our DNA. So what this has to do with us as public speakers, we need to use more storytelling, right? But many people do not know how to tell stories first, how to find stories in their own life. Many people believe that they don't have stories, okay? So how many of you here tell already stories? Craft your stories to tell. How many of you already do that? Namanya, yeah. You said you're gonna have a speech tomorrow, Namanya. How many stories are you gonna tell in your speech?
Yeah, probably in the beginning, I'm gonna open up with the story.
Okay, that's
So,
a great
but
strategy.
yeah, but then and then a small story about how we worked on a project, but that's just not going to be like big of a story, just like a small like anecdotal story, but that's it. Just not I mean not too big.
Did you felt the story I told you now? Did you
Yeah.
what did you
Yeah.
feel? Yeah.
I mean, I definitely it was how can I say? I mean, yeah, there was this a little bit not anxiety, but it was like you cutting the beehives with the axe. I was like, damn. All right, this man's gonna get killed himself. But yeah, I felt it. So
Yes. So the story was just a situation that happened in my life that I transformed in a story. Stories are everywhere, every day in our life. The only thing that we don't see the stories happening. We all have plenty of stories, and many times we only want to talk about information, and we do not use our own stories to pass our message. So what happened with the bees was a natural situation that I stopped to craft it in a story. You know what I mean? So that's the lesson here that took me also many years to understand. about storytelling, because I used to believe that I did not have stories. If somebody asked me, do you have stories? I would answer, of course I have. Everybody always answer that. Of course I have stories. But do you have stories that you can use to tell your message? We all have, but we don't craft them. We're going to play a game, 2 and 2. I'm going to give you an image, and you're going to create a 1 minute story, problem, solution, benefit. You're going to try to sell a product that I'm going to put a picture here for you. So the structure is problem, solution, benefit. So you're going to identify a problem, you're going to explain the solution, and then you're going to explain the benefit. So this is the picture that you're going to try to sell to each other. Okay, that amazing chair. I want to have one of these. Short, 1 minute.
So the problem is that we have it might be aesthetic, but it's probably really incredibly uncomfortable to sit on, it's like upward curvature right up in the butt. And so the solution could be to just accept it and sit on it. And then the benefit might be that you get a really nice, butt massage from it, or, just then get the circulation going and straight back, as Nemanja mentioned.
When you've been working and standing all day as a chef, it's nice to be able to sit down, but even better, you can crack your back on it. So you not only save your legs, you save your back, you save your neck, and you save your employees or all your colleagues from all this jabbing about, oh, I got so much pain. So yeah, it's a win-win for everyone.
Okay, I want to buy one. Send one to me, please.
Yeah, of course. You can go viral with it too. Turn it upside down and eat cereal out of it.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah, we had like a story that was that this chair is a 1 in a million chair. There was something wrong with the form when it was pressed, so it came out in this way, and now we need to sell it to somebody who can see its uniqueness. Maybe
Okay,
put it on the exhibition.
Thanks for sharing. This is a structure, now talking about in a serious way, this is a structure that you can have in your pocket. Of course, we have time to craft it even better, our stories, but this is a structure that you can use in your pocket, because you never know when somebody gonna ask you to speak about something. This is more a fast structure for you to have in your pocket, like if you are in your school, or if you are at your job and somebody say, Magnus, please can you talk about something, and then you can adapt this structure to many different situations. Yes.
I have a question for you, Ricardo. So with your story about the bees, so if I understand it correctly, the problem was that the bee stung you and you wouldn't know what to do. But the solution was that you heard a story from this woman, and the benefit of hearing a story, like the benefit of storytelling. Is that your structure for that story?
My structure was mostly emotional structure. I
Okay,
played.
right.
I try to play in that story more. In another level, I try to go more in the hypnotic level. I try to go subconscious level. I didn't play structure in that sense, but it has that.
Yeah,
Same.
and Christina wants to talk, but I think using this structure together with other techniques like emotional and like that, then it
Yes.
becomes really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to point in the benefit was that a story saved your life. That's the benefit of stories.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, and make a point about something I was talking about. Our subject is a story, so I told a story to tell that story saved my life. I agree with you, Magnus. It's kind of adapting that with another bunch of techniques, especially emotional, subconscious techniques that we can also apply. Okay, my friends. So going forward, that is psychologists made a study about the power of storytelling, and it's proven that we can remember 22 times more a story than facts. Okay, we can remember. Probably my friend Popovic, every time he see me, he might going to remember the story of the bees in Brazil. Just my, you know, that is a big possibility. Uh, Another thing is that, but why stories are so powerful? Why? Anybody can guess why they are so powerful?
This has made me remember my grandmother taught me this technique to tell stories to teach the children, and that's what I've been doing too. I also heard this story about jumping into a lake and so on. And afterwards, also, my children have told me exactly this, that that's what saved them in a situation when this came to their mind. That, oh, yeah, I remember that story.
Yes.
It's really, really effective. Like you said, it's really true.
It-
I just wanted to.
Yes, no, but that's what we're talking about. We want to make a statement of that the stories were survival for us.
Mm,
Survive because of stories. There was no internet to search how, how to touch a snake. Somebody need to tell us, don't touch a snake. So stories are, embedded in us. But what makes stories so powerful? If I ask you here, all of you, now, one question. Don't get shy. It's just a question. If I'd ask you, do you remember? Do you remember the day that you lost your virginity? Everybody's smiling. Everybody remember. Everybody remember. Okay? So this is a fact, right? Everybody remember. But if I ask you, does anybody here remember what you were doing 5 of July 2023? You know what I mean. You will not remember, but why you remember the day that you lost your virginity? And I remember also, we all remember. Why? Because it is filled with emotions, okay? Emotions are the glue that cause memory to stick. So stories that has emotions, and when you know how to tell stories based on emotions, when you know how to do that by purpose, you will make people remember you, and you make people remember your stories. You're going to share a difficult moment that you have in your life that you overcame. You're going to try to tell a story in a storytelling way. You're going to see something in your life, shit, like, this was a really difficult moment in my life that I was in the bottom, and then something happened and I overcame that. It's a lot easier to tell a long story than a short story. I don't know if you know, but I'm be teaching and training TEDx speakers now here in Brazil. I'm gonna have a TED event, and my friends, people, the speakers that I come, they are already really great in what they do, in their in their profession. But they are, when I tell them, you're gonna have to make a speech of in 20 and 18 minutes, a speech that is with a structure, make a conclusion, craft that. A lot of people get like, oh, it's only 18 minutes. I know so much. How can I speak all I know in 18 minutes?
I was doing a presentation called Pecha Kucha from Japan, and it's 20 slides for 20 seconds. And that really teaches you to be brief. And it's also good for the audience, because as an audience, it's only 6 minutes and 40 seconds. It's not half an hour, or it has a structure. So that it's a good way to practice,
Yes.
to be.
Yes. Even the TED rules are changing a little bit from 18 minutes to 12 minutes.
Mhm.
Some people, some talks already, and inside of TED, people are saying, 12 minutes might be the new time. Don't put something like, 20 minutes, because, be
Okay.
nice. Like, let's summarize, 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Let's
Okay.
aim for 5,
Yeah,
maximum 5. Yeah.
good.
Why we did this exercise was to share with you a structure, a storytelling structure that's called the valley structure. And the valley, it's because you see it's a V, and it starts on the top and then go to the down to the end. It's like the valley. It's the the hard time you had in your life, and then we go out from the hard time. It's a structure that is based in 3 points. The valley structure, it's one of the way, there is many ways to structure stories. The valley, it's a way that starts with the top. Okay, what's the top? I'm gonna make like a really fast valley story here for you. I'm traveling to many countries in the world teaching public speaking. I was in Sweden, then I went to Cyprus. I'm back to Brazil, and next year I'll be in Amsterdam. I'll be in Sweden again and Cyprus. And it's a great journey to be able to travel and live life with what makes your heart sing and make money doing that. This is amazing. And now I'll be also organizing a TED Talk with top speakers here in my country. It's so amazing to be able to do things that you love and live doing what you love by choice. But can I tell you, my friends, it was not like this all the time. There was a time that I tried to speak in Sweden when I lived in Sweden, and nobody would invite me to any speak engagement. First of all, nobody would trust me that I would be able to even share something with them. I got really hurt by the Yantelogon. It was not like this. Many times I was sleeping the whole day in my room in Sweden, my dark room in Sweden, without waking up, believing that, I mean, who am I to do something? Who am I to maybe inspire somebody to become something? I really lost the hope on myself. That's the worst hope you can lose. It's when you start believing in yourself. And that happened with me. It was really, really painful, and I almost gave up everything that I could be today. But after a while, I started to dig inside of myself, trying to grow back to who I was. And I started to find mentors to teach me. I started to get inspired by other people. I started to ask for help. They start giving help and hope to me because I really needed help. And I found great people that inspire me to really believe in myself. And then I start to go back to believe myself. And then I started to speak. And then I did my first speech in Sweden. I remember that I spoke for 5 people. I don't know if they even understood what I was saying. And then I said, oh shit, this is working. I'm going to do one more. And then Sunday I was doing my own event in Sweden for 100 people. And then I start traveling. And now I know why I do what I do. I know why I have this mastermind here with all of you. I know that there is a huge power in trusting yourself and also helping others so they can trust themselves as people did to me. That's my why, and that's why I'm here today, and that's why I do what I do. This is the valley structure, okay? And that is something that it's one of the structures we can use as a storyteller, okay? So we all have our valley story, right? We all have. And that is going to be our lesson for our exercise, yeah? It's really cool to see your videos when you post, because we're doing all this. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to post and be like, I'm not gonna do that. Why should I do that? But I know that after you do that, you feel happy. It's like, fuck, I did that. It's done. It's really cool. So let's keep doing the exercises. That's what make us grow. So our exercise will be, we're gonna do our valley journey. So I'm just gonna summarize for you. You start with where you are now, okay, in your valley journey. You start like where you are now, your big you, okay, where you are now. And then you're gonna take us to like, hey, but it was, it was not like this. And then you tell us to your pain. And then after that, you show the transformation, to go back to the other top of the valley. And then there you answer, which lessons did you learn? What's different now? Okay. What did you got for you today, Manata? What did you learn? What you taking home?
I'm taking this storytelling thing, and like it's 22 times stronger. That is a really good lesson.
I mean, definitely the how to frame the whole conversation in that like problem solution benefit. So I think that's something that is definitely helping me a lot. So they can now when I go through what I'm going to talk tomorrow, actually I see like, oh, this is actually could be framed as a problem. This could be like maybe part of the process or the solution, and then like the kind of benefits of how when we finished, how do we this is the rewards that we are having, a year after the project was done. So that's actually pretty helpful.
Yes, for me also the storytelling, how it's so much more potent, and helping people remember, and the importance of making people emote, like connecting with them emotionally. I'm gonna remember that. That was very powerful.
It's never tell me your story, it's show me your story. It's a big difference. A lot of people say, I'm gonna tell a story. No, show me your story.
You kind of forget all the valleys of despair that you have already passed. And when you're in the position like you were talking about, where you said you were in your room, you felt everything was lost. I mean, I know I'll get to that place again in the future, and then you forget all the things you've already gone past. And it's a good reminder to be like, you can spend 5 minutes bitching about it, but then you pull up your pants and you go fix the problem, instead of being like, hey, you can't just lie there and wait for things to happen. You got to go and fix it. So it's a nice way to know that, to see the other side and taste it before you're actually there.
Yes. And another thing is, it's like we have different valleys. I just, this is one valley story. We can have many, and we all have many valley stories. We just need to find them, to use them to tell the message we want to tell.